There it goes. Now we're good. Alright, let's get to it. Okay, so we're gonna put this here. We'll stick this over here too. Okay. How about we keep bottom right? Okay. Okay, I've got GIMP. That's not right. Hang on. This thing. There we go. Can you hear? I can control the music. I've got OBS. Looking good. Okay, I've got GIMP open. I've got Unity open. I need to get something else. I'm missing something else. Okay. I think I know. I'm missing oh, LibreSprite. Okay. We close this. Minimize this. Minimize this. Okay, today we are getting organized. I've kind of like half started on the next project, but we need to like get serious about starting on it. More serious, at least. Let me just get organized really quick. I'm still like cleaning up from the last project. Unity here. So you guys come with me. Put you here. GitHub desktop should go here. Steam should go down. Discord should go down. This goes here. Got 2 Audacities. That's better. Dude, this cannot be royalty free. There's no way. It says stream friendly. This does not. Well, we'll try it. Stream friendly. This is gonna get flagged so fast. This is Legend of Zelda. Alright. Okay, sorry. Here we go. So, Project Mist is the name, the temporary name for this right now. I need to think of how I want to organize this. Let me just go look at my other project and see how I organized it here. Because I had like alternative files, game documents. Okay, here we go. So, new. Okay, so we've got to just do a lot of the like administrative work for this first. We'll just call it Project Mist for now. Project Mist. I just want to see kind of how it's done. Okay. I need to make a game design document for this. I don't really want it to be super complicated, but we do need to think about like what we're gonna be making. Word. Excel. Oh, that was not right. Excel. Okay. So first things first. Let's make a design document. I should be using my documents folder more. Project Mist. We'll call this GDD Project Mist. And then I want a Excel sheet for this as well. Excuse me. Documents. Game documents. Project Mist. We'll just call it Project Mist. Let me fix this real quick. Ugh, it's so bright. Can't I? That's privacy settings. There's another way to do this. Options? Display? There was like a option in here somewhere for this. This is so bright. Good Lord. There's just too many options. Can I do a search on the options? Let me just look it up. Is it one of these? I'm just trying to make it so that it's not so bright. Like a black background, but there definitely was. Let me look it up on my phone. Microsoft Word, make theme dark, but page white. Preferences, general, personalize. Go to Word, preferences. Okay, let's. Black. Now file. It says Word preferences general. Well, I don't see preferences. General. Personalize. Always use these values regardless. Never change the document page color. There you go. Done. Okay, that took forever. Now, I'm going to use GPT to help me make a GDD. So with GPT, okay, so I'm gonna give it a couple prompts. I know kind of what I want to do. I am making a game similar to Playdead's Limbo. It will have procedural animations, physics-based puzzles, and what is it? Pixel art style. Please help me make a game design document detailing the game. Okay, so this is gonna help me make some stuff. Game placeholder name is Project Mist. Project Mist. I haven't come up with a story for this game yet either. Okay, here, do this. Rewrite the GDD now, please. Okay, so we'll go ahead and copy and paste this in, and then we'll edit it to make it what we want. So the reason I'm making a game that's kind of similar to Limbo and Inside is because I've been applying to Playdead, and honestly, like, I feel as though my portfolio's gotten bigger, but it doesn't have everything that I want in it. Sorry, this is doing its thing. Hey, don't look at that. But my portfolio is good. I just need more. I just need like something more specific. So like if I start applying to development studios, I need to be able to point at something and say, hey, this is kind of like what you guys make, and I would fit in. I would fit in with you guys. All right, let's see. So put this in. Just I guess like that. Okay. So let's get this all organized and read, and then we'll be able to see if it's what we want. Game concept, mechanics. Let's go and bump mechanics down to the next page. Story and narrative. This is gonna like take some work. I don't have a story set yet. I don't like some of this stuff already, I can tell. Just spacing this out to get... Okay, let's go ahead and look. So, game overview, Project Mist, placeholder name. Atmospheric puzzle platformer, that's fine. 2D art style with procedural animations. Yep. Inspiration, Limbo by Playdead. Game summary. In Project Mist, players control a lone protagonist navigating the bleak, mist-covered world. The journey is filled with deadly obstacles and physics-based puzzles that require sharp timing, clever use of environmental elements. The game's procedural animation brings fluidity to movement, heightened sense of danger in each interaction. I mean, this is kind of like overkill. Don't really need this. I'll highlight it. Core concepts, core gameplay. Player explores a dark, mysterious environment, overcoming challenges through platforming and puzzle-based solving. Procedural animation and interaction with the world creates a dynamic, immersive experience. Aesthetic, I mean, dark, minimalist pixel art that conveys isolation and mystery. That's fine. Fans of atmospheric and immersive platformers, ages 16 plus. I don't know about this. Probably will change that. Okay, movement. Protagonists can move left, right, jump, crouch, and interact with their environment. I don't know about crouch. I don't know yet. Maybe this is like sneak. Sneak? Maybe. We'll see. Come on. Bummer. Okay, I don't want to highlight the comma, but whatever. Procedural animation. Dynamic animation for the protagonist and objects based on in-game interactions, giving a realistic and adaptive feel. Okay. Physics-based puzzle. Each puzzle is designed around the physical interaction within the world, requiring players to push, pull, time their actions, and solve environmental challenges. So this is really important. Push and pull. This is going to be like the main way the player interacts with the world. Environmental hazards include spikes, collapsing platforms, hidden traps. Each hazard requires careful observation and timing. That's fine. Let me just jump on here really fast. Am I allowed to do... okay. Yep. 1 second. At the very least, give me some hours. Excuse me. Stick this here. Alright, cool. I can see multiple things. Okay. Environmental hazards. Yeah, that's fine. AI-interact creatures or traps that react to players' movement and presence create additional obstacles. Yeah, this isn't gonna be fleshed out until like actually start making it. Like this is super early. Story narrative setting: a shadowed, mist-laden world filled with remnants of passivization. The mist conceals secrets and threats. This is fine. I think that I like that setting because that's kind of what I was going for anyways. It's just I'm just gonna like copycat Limbo. Obviously like not one for one or anything. The protagonist is on a journey through the unknown, driven by a mysterious goal. The plot unfolds solely through environmental storytelling, hinting at the ancient tragedy or curse. So this stuff needs work. This doesn't really... I don't really like this, to be honest. This needs to change. But I do like the idea of, like... Because that's how Limbo starts. Or, like, Inside and Limbo both. They give you, like, a vague idea of what the story is in the beginning. And then, like, it just kind of... You're just kind of, like, you know, holding right. Structured levels are interconnected. Each one building on the last with new puzzles and hazards. They're not interconnected. This is a linear game. Simple physics-based puzzles introduced first. Later levels increase complexity and danger. Alternatives between movement and eerie calm. Tense puzzles, keeping players engaged with weary and wary of what lies ahead. I mean, pixel art style, characters very visually simple, creating a silhouette effect and contrast in the background. Perfect. Yeah, that's great. Monochromatic or limited color palette with high contrast visuals. Yep, that's what I'm going for. Environmental design, sparse haunting backgrounds with minimalist details. Okay. I think I'm gonna drop this. Minimal UI, controls, simple intuitive controls, monetizations. I mean, I don't really need this. Like, get that out of there. I mean, we'll keep it. We'll keep it for now. But this is right here. Drop this. Don't need that. Single one-time purchase. That's all I need. Development timeline. 1 to 2 months finalize GD, concept art, build prototype. This right here, build basic prototype, 2 to 3 months. This is already like... This is like a really good development timeline. This is like a really good development timeline if I was giving myself a year. 1 to 2 months to make the GDD and build a basic prototype? That's ridiculous. I'm gonna do this is 1 week, man. 1 week. Like at most, like I'm gonna be in the prototype today, trying to get it to work. Develop core mechanics, initial level design. I mean, this is like 1 month. This is like, I'm building it as I go. The complete asset creation, level development, and sound, this polish stuff, this is just like a continuation of the pre-production. Cause like I'm immediately gonna be jumping in and trying to make this work. The first thing that we're gonna do, like it's my favorite thing to do, is the character controller and the, what do you call it? The procedural animation and stuff. Testing and iteration, 2 to 3 months. I mean, God, you get like half a week. You get like 2 weeks here for bug testing. This is not. This is like a month, 2 months, 3 months. It's about 3 months. Target release within 3 months of project start. 3 months. Okay. Alright, I'm happy with that. Alright. Now, let's open this up. I've got this. I've got to like, I'm gonna just make the sheet real quick. It's just gonna be like this. Hang on. View, page break. Page layout. There we go. Okay. So this is my sheet. Dude, this is Animal Crossing. There's no way. It's fine. If I get copywritten, and well, I'm not making any money anyways, nobody cares. It's relaxing. Let's put this on repeat though. How do I put the... Guess not. Okay. I want to make like a the to-do list, I guess. Hey, it's to-do and priority. Let's just make a normal view. Am I tripping? Where'd the normal? So to-do and priority. I don't think like I make anything else other than that. Let's just kind of bring them away from here. I mean, I can put some stuff in here already. Is there like a theming? I have to do it myself. Okay, that's fine. We'll just do like a light blue and then make it bold. So we'll say character controller. Not animations. Sprite. Yeah, character sprite. Character sprite. I mean, procedural animation. What else we got? Oh, environment. Hang on. Let's just call it interaction. Interaction. Push. Pull. And I mean just standard interact, I guess. Okay, so we'll keep this. This is high. This is low. I've got this already. This is medium. This is medium. I guess we'll just keep it like that. Okay, we'll put this over here. We'll take this format paint over here, and we'll just say complete. Okay, we'll delete that. Get these grid lines off. What are these? I want that to go away. How do I get that to go away? Okay, we've got, this is a 2-hour stream, and then I've got to work on some other stuff. Let me just see when I started. Oh, 23, I've got 23 minutes on stream. Okay. Complete priority. This will have to do. This is kind of the format for the to-do list now. So we'll keep this. But now I've got to get into the game. So I've already got some stuff made. But the problem I'm having is that my sprite is not... I wanted to do like an animation first. Look at my little guy. He looks messed up, but that's okay. I think I have to like edit the sprite first. We're gonna probably be watching some tutorials on stream because I haven't worked with procedural animation before, and that's gonna take a minute to figure out. So let's go ahead and splice this up. Can I custom outline? Yeah, see, like this right here. You have unapplied. Revert. So sprite editor, skinning, custom, physics, shape, secondary textures, skinning. I'm gonna need to go and like watch a video like right now, because I haven't worked with sprites like this before. I've always done like a sprite sheet, and sprite sheets are really fun and easy. But the problem that we're gonna face is that I'm gonna have sprite sheets for tons of stuff, so I have to figure out how to do this rigging. So like, if you look at my sprite here, I can make bones and stuff. So create bone. Well, I thought I could create a bone. Oh, here we go. So that's his waist. This is his middle part, and then that is like his upper torso. Now, if I do this, do an arm. Oh wait. I gotta click this, and then I do an arm, and then I click this, and I do another arm. So there's his little arms, right? The problem is that my sprite is like one unit. So I need to figure out how to get him to be, how do I explain this? File, open. So this is my editor. I have my project here. This is him. These are all his layers. You know, I want him to kind of look like this. Like, he's not gonna look great, like head on. He just has a little silhouette. Let me see. No, my phone's going off. There we go. He's gonna just look kind of like this. But as he walks, his little limbs will kind of move around. Do I really want his head to look like that? I mean, it's whatever. Maybe... Hang on. Now that I'm looking at it, let me play with it really quick. Jesus. Down. Okay, no, I need a pencil, not a brush. There we go. Now we do white. I don't know. It's kind of too late. I mean, I might as well figure out how to do the animation before I edit the sprite itself. Actually, I want his little legs to be a little higher. But like I said, why does that leg look like that? Alright, screw it. Let's look this up. So, rigging a sprite for Unity animation. And then we get a video.
Today I'm going to show you how to animate your 2D characters inside Unity. Since it is kind of a...
Hang on. Am I allowed to play? This guy's for sure got his like video monetized. If I play this right now? Let me see. So before we finish, let's do a layer. Let's see if I can figure this out, because he did something. I watched this video previously. Fit canvas to layer. I don't like that. Crop to contents. That's okay. Save as. Desktop sprite. We'll just call this 02. Or posed. We'll call it posed. Save it. Now we'll do it again. Export as. Show select file type. Can I export it as a no. What is it called? PSD. PSD right there. Photoshop image. Export that. Okay. Now come back here. Discard. He imported, or no, I have the PSD importer on here. So, is this the PSD? No. Wait, where the hell did I save that? Where did I save this? On my desktop? should be in here. Posed. Posed. It is in here. That's an XCF. That's the PSD. I should be able to just drag and drop this in here. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Looks bad. We do point and repeat, apply. Now we go back to editor. Beautiful. Now we look at the skin editor. What is that about? Why is it cutting it off? See that? Okay. Nope. Did not work. Oh wait, hold on. Auto weights? No. Auto geometry? Crap. So see, he's like one full thing. I need to make it so that he's like, his little pieces are all independent. How do I do that? Okay, I've got to watch this guy's video.
I don't know, kind of a boring thing to have a character running around and not actually animating while it's running. Now, before we get started, I want to mention that I'm going to see stuff, but you don't have to have this. If you want to pull up here, instead I'm going to go into my sprite down here in the assets folder, and I'm just going to go ahead and set pixels per unit to 200. And by increasing the number, it is going to lessen the amount, the size of the character. And for now, because we already included a rigid body and a couple of colliders to this character in the previous episode, we don't need to touch this for now because we're going to be changing the sprite. We're going to put the legs inside the sprite. We're going to put the eyes on top of it.
Previous episode, I've got to go look at this guy's like actual video. Adding bones to PSB in Unity, 2D animation rigging, adding bones to PSB Unity. This is like super long. I feel like
eyes on top of it. So if you were to do,
okay, let's look to see his previous video on this. What are you doing? Let's see. Adobe After Effects tutorials. Oh my god, he's got a lot of playlists. Okay. It's got a little too much going on here. Let's look up
a updated version of my HTML course. In this
what is it called?
To do HTML and CSS, which is
Sprite
to get started,
and animation. 2D sprite basics in Unity, 2D animation rigging, creating a 2D game in Unity, how to make sprites for Unity, 2D moving. I don't really need any of this stuff. What I need is how to get, okay, let's ask GPT. Maybe GPT will help. Okay. No, GPT is not going to be able to help with this. This is like too complicated. How to create sprites and rig them in Unity. There we go. That'll be, sorry, how to create 2D sprites and import them into Unity workflow tutorial. That probably will be it. Let's see.
I've been seeing some comments asking me to go through how I create my sprites. So I thought I would throw together a quick video going over my process for creating sprites and importing them into Unity. This is what I do whenever I'm working on the game in my devlogs. I'm not going to focus as much on the drawing or art theory as I don't think I can properly explain everything. This video is going to be more of a workflow overview. I'm using Krita to draw my sprites. You could use Photoshop or any other graphic design app that has brushes. I'm just going to be using Krita because it's free. For my NPC and enemy sprites, I usually make the artboard 1000 by 1000. You definitely don't need to make it this big, but I've been making everything this size just for consistency. You could probably make the sprites 100 by 100 if you wanted to, but just make sure you're consistent. But also adding too many large size sprites into your game will probably reduce the performance. I usually do a rough sketch to generate some ideas. I then use this layer.
Okay, this is too much, like, I don't need the drawing part, I got that down.
Finished, you can see I've separated the layers into groups for each body part. You can see I've separated layers for the head,
okay.
body,
okay, that's important.
And inside of each of these groups is an outline layer and a fill layer. It's good to keep these separate in case you need to go back and make edits to your sprite. The nice thing about Krita is that it gives you the option to save the project as a PSD file. They can be edited in Krita if you want to make a change in the future, and they can also be imported directly into Unity. But we aren't going to import this file into Unity just yet. Because the sprite is going to have multiple animated parts, we are going to turn this into a sprite sheet first. I'm also going to go ahead and save this original file and keep it around just in case I want to edit the wizard in the future. Make sure you give everything enough space so the slicing won't get messed up in Unity.
Okay.
So now that we're in Unity, I'm going to go and run through all the steps that I take when adding a new sprite or prefab into a game. We're going to go into our assets panel down here, and we're going to find our wizard sprite sheet that we made. In the inspector, we want to change our pixels per unit to 1000, and we want to change the sprite mode to multiple because this is a sprite sheet. And I'm just changing it to 1000 just because that's how, based off the size of the original file that I made, that's just how it's going to scale for me. So I'm going to click apply, I'm going to open the sprite editor, and you're just going to want to go to slice, you're going to make sure automatically selected in your...
This is the part that's messed up. Crap. Hang on. Okay. I need to make this into a sprite sheet again. So we're going to take this stuff and move it around. Let's do that. We're just gonna make this a pretty large canvas, and then image layer, image, canvas size, fit canvas to layer. There you go. So now with this, I can get these kind of organized. All right. Okay, so that should do it. Let's just do this again. Fit canvas to layer. Whoa. How about this? Let's do image crop to contents, and then canvas size, and we just bump it up a little bit bigger, and then center this, and then resize this. There you go. File, save as. We're going to save it as an XCF. Place that. And then we'll save it as the... Oh, crap. I just overwrote that. Well, that's fine. PSD, and we'll just call it sprite sheet. Sprite sheet post. There you go. The following name cannot be used for saving. Okay. Cancel. File. Export as. Call this right here. Just go here. Sheet. So this hopefully will do what I wanted it to do. Where's that PSD? There you go. Export. Now we can close this. Bring this over to the side. Let's go ahead and... I'm going to delete both of these. Is missing the sprite. Delete that too. And then we'll get our sprite sheet posed. There it is. Bring that in. That's not what I wanted. Still not what I wanted. Right. So first, I will fix this. Repeating. We'll just go clamp. Sprite editor. Apply. No. Try linear. Point. There you go. Now see this. I don't understand why. Okay. So there's one. Apply that. See, on theirs, they have like multiple squares for each of the different sprites. I don't understand why mine... Whoa, whoa, whoa. Stop. That's way too many. How do I get rid of this? Back? Delete? Delete did it. Okay, if I have to do this for every single one of them, that's fine. I'll just do it. But I mean, damn, that's that's gonna be annoying. I thought. Okay. Okay, we can apply that. Custom physics shape? What does that mean? Generate? Ah. Skinning editor? Apply? Okay. So, I'm gonna do some bones. Let's see if I... No, see, they're like snapped together. I don't want that. I want these to be separate. Okay, so that means I'm gonna go back to my custom outline. I don't want you guys to be touching. See this? Bad. No touch. Okay. Alright, there. No touching. Stop touching. There. And then this one. Nope. What have I done? Up. Up. Delete that. Okay. Let's try this. Now we go back to skinning editor. And then we auto-generate geometry. Yo, why? Why is this here? Edit geometry. Bad. Bad. You're supposed to be separate. Create edge from here to here. And then create another edge from here to here. This is also wrong. Create vertex right here. Create edge, not from there, from here to here, and then also from here to here. Frick. Here to here. Edit geometry. Delete this. Oh. Okay. Don't delete the vertex. Good lord. That caused an error. Clear this. Please. Now I can't edit the... Oh, there we go. This, delete it. Because if I select it, it gives me the vertices too. This is gross. Hang on. 1 second. I'm gonna pause for a second. Alright. One second. All right, let's let's keep going. I don't know what exactly is going wrong here. Yeah, I just needed a sweater. Let's watch this video, and I will eat this bar, and we'll see what we can figure out. Pause this. So
there we go. We're going to close the editor, and now if we expand this, you can see our sprite is broken down into these pieces.
Yeah, that did not happen for me.
So now that we're in Unity, I'm just going to go and run through all the steps that I take when adding a new sprite or prefab into a game. We're going to go into our assets panel down here, and we're going to find our wizard sprite sheet that we made. And in the inspector, we want to change our pixels per unit to 1000, and we want to change the sprite mode to multiple because this is a sprite sheet. And I'm just changing it to 1000 just because that's how, based off of the size of the original file that I made, that's just how it's going to scale for me. So I'm going to click apply, I'm going to open the sprite editor, and you're just going to want to go to slice, you're going to make sure automatic is selected, and you're going to click slice. And from there, we're going to click apply, we're going to close the editor, and now if we expand this, you can see our sprite is broken down into these pieces. I'm just going to go ahead and start dragging these onto the canvas. Okay, so now that we have all of our pieces here, just going to group them up into one group of objects, and then inside of that group, I'm going to add a sorting group. And now that we have a sorting group, we can choose the order that all these sprites are going to be layered in. So I want the head to be on the top, so I'm going to put that as 3. I'm going to put the staff maybe as 2, and the arms as 1. I think that makes, yeah. Oh no. I'll put the arms as 2 and the staff as 1. There we go, perfect. This isn't laid out quite right yet, but so now I'm going to go ahead and drag this entire thing into my prefab panel down here. Just going to delete this other one that I made. So now this wizard is a prefab, so I'm going to go ahead, open the prefab here, and I'm going to rename these into names that actually make sense. So head. Oh, you know what I should do actually? I'm going to call this wizard. And then I'm going to call this staff, arms, and body. I just realized I probably don't want the head to actually be the parent container for this, so I'm just going to go ahead and change that. Okay, now that we have our sprite organized and everything's in the correct spot, I'm going to click on the prefab. I'm just going to add some components. So we need a collider. I'm just going to add a capsule collider 2D, and we also need a rigid body 2D. And inside of the rigid body, I'm just going to go ahead and change this to no gravity because for me it's a top-down game. And I'm also going to go ahead and freeze the Z rotation. You can keep the rotation unfrozen if you want collisions to cause the sprite to rotate, but for me, I don't want that. I'm also going to open the capsule collider and just get this to fit nicely kind of around the wizard in a way that I think makes sense, just something like that. I think it's fine. One thing that I forgot to do, and I always end up making this mistake, is I'm just going to reopen the sprite editor, and you want to be aware of where your anchor points are for each of your pieces inside of the sprite sheet. This is mainly important if you're doing an animation like a walking animation, for example. You'd want the anchor points to be located not at the middle of the leg, but at the top where it connects to the body. That way it rotates where the connection is happening and not in the middle of the leg. But for me, I think for this wizard, the way we're going to animate it, I think these anchor points are fine. He doesn't even have legs. And this is like kind of close to his neck anyway, the head anchor point and the staff. It's kind of in the middle, so it doesn't really matter. So I think we're actually fine. But if you're making a sprite, just be aware of where your anchor points are. It's going to matter a lot when you're doing the animations. So now, back into the wizard sprite, we can go ahead and add a animation animator. That's what I'm calling it. And we're going to go ahead and create an animation controller. So inside of my animations folder, the animation directory, I'm just going to go ahead and create a animation controller. I'm just going to go ahead and call it wizard. And then inside of this, I'm going to go back to the wizard, and I'm going to highlight the wizard controller and add it to the animator component. Now, inside of the wizard animation controller, we also need to create an animation. So I'm just going to go ahead, click create animation. I'm going to call this idle because that's the only animation I need for this right now. And I'm just going to go ahead, drag the idle animation into the wizard animation controller, and now we are ready to go ahead and create the idle animation inside of the animation window. Now, I'm not going to get into the details of creating the animation itself, as I know I'm not very good at animations and there's a lot of room for me to improve, but there are much better videos on YouTube going over the best practices of animation. Blackthorn Prod has a pretty good video that goes over creating idle, walking, and jumping animations for 2D characters, so I would check that out.
Okay, sorry. I muted myself because I was eating that thing. Don't really need the animation help. You just need to know how to use the animator tool. I know what I did wrong here. It's this. I need to make a multiple. Go in here. Yeah, perfect. Really? That's what it was this entire time? That's annoying. Okay. Now, this is how you do the bone animations. I'm going to learn the bone animations, but the procedural animations is going to be like a level above this. Probably, honestly, 2 or 3 levels above what I'm about to do. So, like, I need to do this, like, fundamental stuff first. Sorry. I'm going to do this fundamental stuff. I should be able to come back. Beautiful. Now, I should be able to come back and work on that other stuff. Right. Actually, before I do this, the sprite editor, this is a leg. I need to make his pivot point the top center. This one is the pivot point top center. This one is, can I do a custom pivot point? It's like right here. Do this like rotating around the, whatever, you get it. And then this one, it's also custom. This is other arm. Pivot point for this. Pivot point for this is the bottom center. Okay. Goodness. Sorry. Catching my mustache in my mouth. Excuse me. Okay. Apply all that. Let's come to the skidding editor. Create some bones. Here we go. So we're going to make a bone here. Like that. Click this. This is his right arm. Like that. This is his left arm. Like that. Select these. This is his right leg. That. And this is his left leg. Okay. I do also need to do this for his head. There we go. Do auto weights. Okay. Let's bring the size way down to 1. So click this bone, and then we'll just brush in here, right? I don't really see it. I don't know if it's working. I don't know if this is working or not. Steps. Let's do 1 step. Ah, Christ. I don't honestly like this kind of thing. I don't really want. Crap. Let's go here to bone influences, because I've got this bone. This needs to affect other stuff. Heyo, welcome. Let's turn this back on. Did I not apply it properly? Because he's got all his bones here. Okay, let's try this with the head first. Let's delete this bone. And then we'll go here. We'll create a bone. And then see if that works. Doesn't seem to work. Create a bone here. And then I need to look at the influences. So bone influences. This needs to affect this. Ah, damn it, man. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. I don't know why. I need this to be associated with this. All right, so the geometry doesn't really bother me all that much. It's this that, why can't I get, you know what, hang on. So I've got this part. So this part took me a second to figure out. I can go back to that other tutorial now, and I should be able to figure out better this time. This guy.
Do any sort of collider scaling right now, it's probably not going to match up once we're done. So for now, let's just don't touch the colliders, and let's change a little bit later. So now that we have our player inside the scene, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click the player, and what I want to do is I want to make sure we have everything set up so we can animate this guy. Right now, the limbs are not inside the character because that's what it needs to be, for it to look properly. We also want to make sure we add bones and weight to this character, which basically means that, if you take like a human body, I have bones, and in between the bones I have joints. And the reason I can move the way I can, and the reason that my hand isn't just falling to the ground, is because it's attached to a couple of limbs. So that is what we need to create inside Unity. And Unity has a very good built-in feature to allow this to happen. You do want to double check though that inside Package Manager, you make sure you do have drag my sprite editor up to the top here, just so we have a little bit more space to look at. In here, we're not going to do anything inside the actual sprite editor. What we're going to do is we're going to click on the sprite editor tab up here in the left corner, and I'm going to go down to skinning editor. Inside skinning editor is where we're going to apply the bones and the weight and the geometry and everything to our sprite. So what I want to make sure I do here is I click visibility, so we can actually see the hierarchy of everything that we're selecting and creating in here. I want to make sure to start with that I'm going to be creating the bones for the sprite. There's a couple of things here to note, which is that right now we do have something like eyes and we have legs, and you might think that, we probably need to take these and move them in before we start adding the bones, but we actually don't get to collect and put everything together until we have added the bones and we're done inside the sprite editor. So for now, it needs to be separated and look something like this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the left where it says create bone, going to click it, and right now we can't actually create any bones, and that's, you can see if I'm clicking, nothing is happening. That's because you need to double click on your character for it to highlight and actually tell that, oh right, there's a couple of different sprite parts here that we need to do something with. Now I am making kind of a weird light bulb character, so if you have a person or something, of course this is going to be a little bit more complex than what I'm making here, but it's the same general principle. If you have arms as well, then you need to do the same thing as we're doing to the legs. So it's all the same. So what I'll do is, first of all, I want to create the hip or the base of the body, so I'm going to click at the bottom here at the center, and I'm going to drag it up till around here, and then I'm going to click it. And then you can tell we can actually continue on building bones for this character. So right now we have the body or the hip part of the person, the light bulb, we could call it, and I'm going to create the head for the next part. So I'm just going to go all the way up, click it again, and now I actually want to start with these body parts out here, but as you can tell, we're still continuing. So I'll just right click to deselect, and then I want to say, okay, the legs, which are going to be the next thing I'm going to attach, has to be connected to the hip. So I'm going to click on the hip bone, and then you can see it actually continues it, and then I can go ahead and click inside the sprite. Make sure you click inside of them, not outside, otherwise this is going to be a little bit messed up. And then we're going to create the knee, and then the lower part of the foot, and then the entire foot, the lower part of the leg, it's called, not lower part of the foot. What we can do now is we can do the other leg. So I'm going to right click to deselect, and then I'm just going to continue on the other side. And then I want to select the head, and then I want to attach the eyes. And this is going to be a little bit weird for some people, because you would think that I just need to click it once and that's it.
Sorry.
Then I can deselect, but that's not how it works. You actually need to go to the left side of the eye,
drag
across, click it, and deselect. Do the same thing for the other eye.
His sprite is like one thing, but at the same time it's doesn't make sense. Man, this is confusing. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time with this. All right. I don't understand why these are like separate from one another. I really want to make this correctly. Let me look at his video again. Let's back up to where he was importing his sprite.
After updating everything, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my player inside my assets window, and I'm going to make sure that if I'm using a PNG image that is a single inside sprite mode, if you're using a PSP file, you want to make sure this one is set to multiple, and it should just be done that by default. Like, you shouldn't need to change anything, but just double check that that is what it says and you haven't touched anything. With all of this, I'm going to go inside the sprite editor, so I'm just going to click it here, and I'm just going to go ahead and drag my sprite editor up to the top here, just so we have a little bit more space to look at. In here, we're not going to do anything inside the actual sprite editor. What we're going to do is we're going to click on the sprite editor tab up here in the left corner, and I'm going to go down to skinning editor. Inside skinning editor is where we're going to apply the bones and the weight and the geometry and everything to our sprite. So what I want to make sure I do here is I click visibility, so we can actually see the hierarchy of everything that we're selecting and creating in here. I want to make sure to start with.
Well, I know I need that. Let's do that first. Turn this on. Now, this is weird because it is not exactly like his.
That I'm going to be creating the bones for the sprites. There's a couple of things here to note, which is that right now
I don't care about the packages.
You do want to double check though that inside Package Manager, you make sure you do have a couple of things. Make sure everything is updated, and especially make sure you have 2D animation in here, because that is what is going to help us actually animate this character. Do also make sure that you see 2D sprite in here, and if you're using a PSP file, you do also want to make sure that PSD importer is in here and updated. Otherwise, the PSP file might not be possible to be used. So after updating everything, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my player inside my assets window, and I'm going to make sure that if I'm using a PNG image that is a single inside sprite mode, if you're using a PSP file, you want to make sure this one is set to multiple, and it should just be done that by default. Like you shouldn't need to change anything, but just double check that that is what it says and you haven't touched anything. With all of this, I'm going to go inside the sprite editor, so I'm just going to click it here.
See, he's using different settings. I'm using a PSD file, so it should be, he's saying it should be set to single. Okay. And then it looks like this, and this is not right. See, like everything is wrong. Oh my gosh. See? Why? I don't want these things to be connected. From Minnesota? No, I'm not from Minnesota. Let's close that. Let's go to tight, sprite editor, apply, sprite editor. See this right here? This is the entire sprite. Let's go ahead and apply, shoot. Get this back here. Apply, jump back into skidding editor. This is where like I'm like confused. Because the geometry here is messed up. Let's look up how to split the geometry up. You see, this is kind of what's happening. Where's that guy's video again?
Here, and I'm just going to go ahead and drag my sprite editor up to the top here, just so we have a little bit more space to look at. Yeah. In here, we're not going to do anything inside the actual sprite editor. What we're going to do is we're going to click on the sprite editor tab up here in the left corner, and I'm going to go down to Skinning Editor. Inside Skinning Editor is where we're going to apply the bones and the weight and the geometry and everything to our sprites. So what I want to make sure I do here is I click Visibility, so we can actually see the hierarchy of everything that we're selecting and creating in here. I want to make sure to start with that I'm going to be creating the bones for the sprites. There's a couple of things here to note, which is that right now we do have something like eyes and we have legs, and you might think that, we probably need to take these and move them in before we start adding the bones. But other tools here where you can edit the bones and do such things. For now, I think this is quite good. So what I'll do is I'll go to the geometry, which is going to be where we actually create the borders, the edges of the sprite, and how complex it needs to be with the sprite, when we twist it and turn it. So if I were to go in and go down here to where it says Generate for Selected, I can go ahead and make sure to have weights ticked on, because that is something, if I were to take it off, we could actually add separate down here. But for now, usually the automated generation just does a pretty good job. So I'm going to keep this on, and then I can sort of select how complex I want to have my character. If your character is too simple when it comes to like how you twist it and the body just doesn't follow exactly like you want it to, then maybe you want to add a little bit more detail to the geometry in order for it to, have a little bit more complexity. But do know that if you just, buff this up to max with everything, all the different characters inside your game, it does eat away of performance. The general rule of thumb is just to add just enough for you to like be happy about it. So what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and set the default, generate for selected, and then you can see we get this little color grading thing going on.
See, his geometry is all separated. I don't understand why mine's connected. Let's see. Are you from Minnesota? Nope. So man, you seem exhausted tonight. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. Not exhausted, just working. Something going on? Yep, just working. I've got a 2-hour-long stream today. It's an hour and 7 minutes in. Just trying to figure out this this problem here. When I auto-generate geometry in Unity for my sprite, it connects all the pieces. That should do it. Let's see what we get. Why my dynamically generated sprites overlap? Auto geometry is not precise on 2D pixel sprite. Generating custom geometry. When is custom geometry featured in sprite shape controllers? Error of the console when applying auto geometry. Oh, let's see this. I'm trying to rig a 2D sprite using Unity Skin Editor. I create all my bones and link them together using the transparent thingy and then hit auto geometry. And it only creates geometry for the torso of my sprite. I'm using a sprite where all the limbs are separated, like in Unity Blog 3, this tutorial. Am I doing something horribly wrong? How can I get to create geometry for the rest of the sprite as well? I was going to use character rig options shown in Bracky's video, but my editor doesn't seem to have it. Only PSP files will give you character rig option. When using Auto Geometry tool, make sure no sprite is selected. No sprite is selected to generate the geometry for all the sprites in the texture. When a sprite is selected, the generate button shows generated for selected. Ah, okay. Am I using, that's another question. Am I using a PSB file or a PSD file? I think I'm using PSD, which is not correct. Okay, cool. So that might solve that. Let's drop these. Template scene, player sprite. Drop that. Let's come back in here. So I've got this. I'll do save as. We will do player sprite sheet posed. Well, let's just do, instead of posed, I would like to just name it character player sprite sheet. Save that. There you go. Now I have my XCF. Now I will export as sprite sheet, show all files. Now PSB, not PSD, PSB. Maybe I will not be so lucky. Come on. Can I do .psb and just make it? The given file name does not have any known file extensions. Go bummer. So what was the thing saying again? This will only work for .psb files. Shoot. So crap. So do I not have PBM? Man, are you telling me it's because I have to use Photoshop? Yeah, I work on and off stream. It's it varies. It depends on where I'm at in the project. If I feel like I have a lot of interesting things to show, I usually stream. But if it's just like busy work, like I don't really stream it. Let's just try PSD again. Discard this. Drop this. All this stuff right here. Why in the world is that happening? Okay, so I've got a player sprite. I got a template scene. Where the hell? Where did my thing go? Alright. Let's pull this back up. What is the percentage I work on and off? Maybe 50-50. The streams are inconsistent, but it's typically because I don't have a lot to show. Like the player controller, all of the research stuff, like all of this work, it takes a long time to learn the skills and stuff, and like it's not very interesting to watch somebody learn how to do something. So typically I start streaming once I've figured out all of the like little nitty-gritty details of what to do. Oh, I see. I was sticking it in there. Let me put it here. Right. So like I don't typically document this process, like where I'm learning how to do stuff, because this is like just long. It takes a long time and it's boring. But it's important for me to learn how to do it from the beginning. A lot of the times that takes up the majority of what the project is. It's just me learning. Okay, there's a PSD. Let's try the PSD again. Sprite sheet. It's one of these. It's this one. I think so. I gotcha, man. No worries. This is my properties. Let's go in here. I mean, crap. But let's just do point, apply, sprite editor. Let's try this again. See the geometry, man. Why is the geometry stuck like this? This doesn't feel right. Let's go look at Unity's stuff. Maybe Unity has the actual information. How to import PSD to Unity for rigging rigging. How to import, save your artwork, use the PSD importer. I've been doing that. I've already done that. Rigging a character imported with the PSD importer. This looks like what I want to do. Hang on. So I think I've got to set it, because this right now is one sprite, right? So we want this to be multiple. Yo, sprite editor. Let's do a automatic and slice it up. Pretty good. Apply that. I've got these now. Now what? Oh, save. So I've got... Why does that look like that? That's not right. That's not right. What? What the hell? What is going on? Dude, what? Why can't I see my sprites? Okay, this is irritating. What the frick? Background 3, blah 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 blah, ground 4. So we gotta put you on 4 to see you? Why does the sprite look like that? What the hell? That's not right. Okay. Come back here. Slice this again. Apply. That fixed it? I don't know why it looked like that. That was weird. Uh-huh. Alright, let's work. We're getting there. Only textures with width being multiple of 4 can be compressed. Whatever. I don't care. That'll be a problem later. Let's get into this. How did I do this again? Sprite editor. Come back down here to my skinning editor. Okay. Please. Great bone. I don't want to select everything. Dude, please. Let's do this. Just done. Okay? It like... Oh, crap. Oh my god, stop. Dude, what in the hell? Oh, I'm losing it. I'm losing it. Go away. See this? Oh, dude, I've got to delete it like this. Are you for real? Okay. Please. Okay. Putting bones on everything. Let's do this. Okay, I put bones on everything. Dude, what is this? What are you? What is this little... Delete all that. Holy crap. Okay. Now, it's like all of these little guys are independent. I've got to like put the references to them. Dude, I don't know. Because I want these to move. Normalized. Okay, auto generate geometry, auto weights, generate all. Okay, that's fine. But this is the thing that's like irritating me. Is how do I get... What is this? Oh, I see. Okay, fine. Bone influence? Okay, I see. It's like my sprites aren't like connected to each other. But I want them to be connected to each other. But I need them to be separate. See, I need them to be all split up, but still a part of the same, like, rig. That's it. That's what I'm trying to say. So what is going on here? The sample demonstrates how to rig an actor that's made of simple sprites. Multiple sprites imported with the PSD importer. Open blah blah blah. You see that? What the hell is that? In this sample, the source file, this sample, the bones are already rigged and weighted. Experiment. In this sample, the source file PSB is imported into the editor with the PSD importer with the character rigged properly. Import with its character rig property enabled. The importer generates a prefab as a sub-asset of the imported source file. Drag the... What in the hell? Open the asset, blah blah blah. And skinning editor module to examine how the sprite is rigged. The character sample scene shows how the asset is used in a scene when it is animated with animations. This does not help me. Unity, you did not help me at all. Jesus. Let's look at this then. Maybe I'm importing it incorrectly. Actually, I might be. Discard this. Discard this. Okay. Dude, if it's this, I'm gonna be so upset. Hey, stop that. Tight. Hang on. Point. Just apply that. Open sprint editor. Don't need to do that. Skinning editor. Still doesn't seem to be working. Maybe it's a single. Open sprite editor. Apply. Hey, yo. Value cannot be null. Yo! What the hell? It opened up a failed to import asset path message. The asset path was messed up. Okay, that's fine. So that just tells me we're gonna delete this. The dogs are barking. Okay. PSD. Bring that over here. Take this. Change that. Texture is point. Apply. Clear this. We'll say single. No. It was multiple. Open sprite editor. Create bone. Oh, beautiful. I'll do like half torso, that's fine. Dude, what in the world? Oh my god, please. Why are these bones so hard to like manipulate? There. This is his other arm. Okay. Why does the sprite look like that? Oh, dude. Cannot catch a break with this. I mean, at this point, I don't really care. I just want this to... Okay, auto generate geometry. Beautiful. Auto weights. Okay. Okay. Looks like it's working. Awesome. Okay. Short pose. This little leg goes. I'm thinking if I should like make his little legs. Yeah, he's fine. Beautiful. Nice pivot. Okay. Okay. That took way too long. Way too long. Okay. This is absolutely getting demonetized. I don't get monetization at all anyway, so it doesn't matter. This music is not good. Okay. Beautiful. Let's bring this guy in. Okay. Dude, he looks so fucked. Why? Why does he look like this? Why does the sprite look like this? He never looks like this. I mean, I don't know. Pixels per unit. 500 to 500. Maybe that will help make him look better. Fuck. Okay. 50. I don't know, man. Let's just do 100. He looks all droopy. Okay, screw it. I don't care right now, at the moment. Spreadsheet. We're gonna rename this to Okay, I've gotta continue watching the guy's video, I guess. Not much progress today.
It's important to note the difference, because the white lines that you see around the character and inside the character, that is actually the geometry that we added. The coloring is going to be the weight of the character. So if I were to take and rotate my head, how much weight should the head have compared to the body? Because if I say that the body should not have as much weight on it, the body's going to start twisting much faster with the head if I start tilting the head. So, you know, the weight here is usually pretty good by default, but you can adjust it by the weight slider inside the weight settings here if you wanted to. So if I were to click it, make sure we have the body selected, I can decrease the weight. And then you'll notice that when I start twisting my head, the body is a little bit more giving when it comes to twisting it, so I don't want to have that. Like I said, the default one is usually pretty good. If you rotate it and started doing things to test out your character, because that is a good idea to do to make sure it looks right, and you want to, you know, reset the entire pose, then there is a button up here at the top. You can click it, and then it just resets everything. So you shouldn't worry about it looking weird if you start twisting it and, oh no, did I put everything back to where it used to be? Just go and click reset pose and that fixes things. So now if I want to edit my bordering, because as you can tell, I actually have a little bit of kind of a weird thing going on here. So what I can do is I can say edit geometry, and then I can actually just move them up if I want to, a little bit closer to the character, like so. And if you want to add more vertices, you can just go and click create vertices, and then you can just add a little bit more complexity to it. Usually I just click create vertices, because you can move around the vertices even without having, you know, the edit one selected. So you can just kind of do this, just twist it around and make it look really nice. Now, if you're using a PNG image, you're pretty much set when it comes to the bone influences that we can mess around with in here. But if you're using a PSB file and you imported your character from Photoshop into Unity with the legs underneath the body and the eyes on top of the face, then you're going to have to do some changes in here to the bone influence. So down here, if you were to click it, you can see that right now I don't really have anything selected. So I could, if this was a PSB file, double click on one of the bones. Now, for me, nothing's going to happen because I'm using a PNG file. But for you, there will be a pop-up down here with the bone influences where it's going to tell you if this particular bone is influencing other body parts. This means that if I were to take the eye and start moving it, you want to make sure that it doesn't mess with the face and doesn't start stretching the face. So with the eye double-clicked, you want to go down and click minus when you select the face, you know, minus off the face, minus off the hip, depending on, you know, what it has in there. You only want the eye to be affecting the eye. But like I said, for me, nothing happens when I double-click because I'm using a PNG image and my eyes were not on top of the character when I import it inside Unity, so everything's fine for me. You don't want to deselect anything for the face though, because if I were to click the face, or if you're using a PSB file, double-click it, then you do want to, when you start rotating the body, you want the eyes and eyebrows to start moving up and down, you know, like it's doing right now. Because when we start animating, I do want the eyes to follow the body when we start animating him. So what I'll do here is I'm just going to go and reset the pose, and there's one last thing that we need to do, which is the whole reason why we click visibility up here, because now we can actually see the different names for the parts, you know, the name for the bones. We can see the depth for the bones, which is going to matter as well when we start to put together the character. The lower the number, the further back the part is going to be, or the sprite part is going to be. So the legs, I want to be underneath the body, right? So the legs are going to be the lowest point of the sprite, so they should just stay at 0. I want to just go ahead and, you know, click the leg. Oh, that's the one called bone 3. I'm going to click it, make sure we're not inside the bone influencer. So just go and click preview pose, and then click it, so we can actually edit it down here. And here we go. So with this, as you can tell, I made sure the base and the head were on the same layer, so I set them to 5. I took the eyes and the eyebrows, and I made them on a layer 8. I also made sure to take the legs and put them on 0. Basically everything with the leg all the way down to the foot, everything was set to 0. And I didn't name the middle part, because we don't need to name it or do anything to it. We just need to make sure that the leg and the foot are named, because that is all we need to have when it comes to the next couple of steps. So for now, that's all I named. So with all of this, I can actually go ahead and click apply. And once we applied it, I can go back into the scene, and now we need to start putting together the character. And once we've done that, we can then, you know, make changes to the collider afterwards. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and make sure that my player is selected, and then I want to add a component. And this one is not going to be something you want to add if you're using a PSB file, so a Photoshop file. Because if you're using a PSB file, once you applied the different bones inside the sprite editor, you're going to notice that your player is going to have a drop-down arrow with a bunch of body parts, and those body parts are going to be set to the names of the bones that we gave it inside the sprite editor. So
okay. I see.
So you need to skip this step if you're using a PSB file, but if you're using a PNG file like I am, you need to go ahead and go down inside your add component, and you want to make sure you add a sprite skin. And with that, you need to make sure you click on create bones. So once you do that, you can see that all the bones that we added to it inside the sprite editor are going to be applied to our sprite. So I'm just going to go and zoom in here. And what we need to do is we need to start moving these around. So it needs to look like how we want it to look like inside our character. So for example, my leg, I'm just going to go and take it and move it in. Take out the leg, move it in as well. The eye, and we can actually, if the camera's kind of in the way here, we can go up and just sort of click the eye icon on the hierarchy window and just like unselect it so we can see it, like so. Just so we have something that, you know, looks like a character. We can go into the y-axis here and just copy it, make sure that it is set to the same one. Oh, not the y-axis, the x-axis, because I actually turned around when it comes to, you know, the bones. It's kind of weird. X-axis is up and down, and y-axis is left and right, so it's opposite day. So you want to make sure you have...
It tells me... This doesn't seem right. Also, where the hell are my little handles for moving this? Where are any of my anything? Oh, scene editor. There, Jesus. Okay. Whoa, okay. All right. Sorry. Okay. So there's the bones. Reset bind pose. Oh, okay. Got it. Is this his arm? Shoot. Oh, wait. No, this is his left leg. off. Okay, he looks okay. Jesus, okay. My god, that took way too long. Let's go back to the video.
We have x-axis and x-axis the same. So now that we put together the character, we could go ahead and just sort of adjust the collider, because we will need to animate this and have him walk around. So I will click the player, and we did already add colliders in the previous video, so you can just, if you have your own little sprites and you didn't follow the previous videos, just go ahead and add a collider and, you know, change it so it matches with what you want it to be. And then also want to make sure that we take the box collider, which is the one that checks if we can jump. We want to make sure we move that down as well. There we go. So now we have all the colliders like they're supposed to be. So with the colliders adjusted, the last thing we need to do in order to animate this character is that we need to add another component, and this one you do need to add.
That's such a genius idea. That didn't, okay. Whatever. Let's go ahead and add a capsule collider. Capsule collider 2D. K. Wow, okay. None of this stuff is positioned properly. Okay, can we put this 0, 0? And then look at the player again? It's okay. It's alright. Okay, so we'll go ahead and take this capsule collider, make it smaller. Ah, okay. So now we'll take this bone. I don't know what this is. That, okay. Down a little bit. This is obviously going to be a little messed up. I'm going to remove this actually. And then add this. Oh. Nope. All wrong. So we'll make this a little bit bigger. No, that's wrong. 30. And then we'll move it up a little bit. There you go. You know, whatever. Let's try 4. There we go. And then I'll do a box collider, 2D box. Make this, oh crap. We'll make this much smaller. Bring it down to his feet. That is such a cool idea. I had never even thought of that. Let's do it like this. We'll call this the, I can't rename this, can I? Can I add a, yeah, whatever, it's fine. Okay, there you go. Let's go. Let's go, boys. Let's prevent him from rotating. How do I lock? Oh, I need to add a rigid body, 2D. Let's turn this off for a second. Let's just make sure that his rigid body cannot rotate. Okay. Now, this, I need to add a collider. What kind of collider? A composite collider 2D. Edge collider. Remove component. Add component. A composite collider. And let's see if that works. Hey, yo. Okay. Hang on. Rigid body. Freeze it. And then let's look at the player. X and Z. I think it's just Z. And he fucking fell through, straight through. Let's look at the ground again. Remove this. Add component. Edge collider. How do I edit this? Edit collider. Very cool. Put this here, and then put this over here, and then bring this down here, bring this up here, bring this here, bring you here. Okay. All right, let's see if that works. I don't know. Oh shit, it actually worked. He looks so good. Let's see if his little bones work. Fucking right. That didn't do shit. It didn't do anything. Why didn't it work? Look at his little arm, it's going. Look, his little arms are going. Okay. What? That arm works? This leg works? Look at my boy. Why is this arm all fucked? Hold on. Okay, watch. Look, that arm on the right. It's there. And it disappears when he hits the ground. How come? Okay, let's see where it goes. It disappears. What's that about? Why? Why? Why you do this? Why? Explain. His little fucking legs are so cute. He's gonna do this. And he's gonna do this. And he's gonna... Hey, yo! Where's his other arm? Explain yourself. Where does it go? It's disappeared. Why has it done that? Oh, crap. Why? Why does his little arm disappear? It's weird. Look, it says it's still there, but it legit is gone invisible? Why? Explain yourself. Huh. I don't know how to get it to show itself. Also, oh. See that? That's not good. Look at my little man. Okay. Alright. Something's off. Because while he's in the air, everything is fine. Maybe I can catch him before he falls. Oh. Okay, that's all messed up. Okay, something's going on. I'm not sure what. But at least we're here now. Let's move his arm over here, like up above his head, and see if we can tell what's happening. No, legit, whenever he hits the ground. Also, he's not hitting the ground, he's hitting... That's not right. Very strange. Alright. just bring his little arms out. Bring his little arms out. I'm not sure why. Okay, how about this? Let's take the guy. We're gonna freeze his Y position so he can't fall. And then we're gonna see what's going on. So his little arm's fine, little leg's fine. It's fine. I don't really like this. I can fix that. This is very strange to me. Let's go ahead and drop him. Let's see what happens. How do I drop him again? I'm gonna undo this. And as soon as he touches, literally as soon as he touches, it is cutting it away. Don't get that. I don't understand. Also, this has been mucked around with. Don't know how that happened. Oh, it's because I moved him. Okay. Please. 0. There. Can we stick to this? Don't know what's going on with him. Can I copy this? Pause this. Paste that. Do this. Okay, he's frozen here. So now let's just like move him a little bit. Stop him. Oh! It's moving behind the background. Oh god, I'm so dumb. Hang on. Order and layer 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. My god. Okay. Let's just like bump everything up. That was dumb. Sorry, my bad. Let's change this. So my order and layer. I forget that I have to do this. So let's make this all 0. Oh, I gotta do this. So let's make this all 0. And then do a sorting layer on this. Sorting group. And then... Oh, seriously? That was so easy. Let's do this too, sorting group. And then that should fix my problem. I'm not an idiot. No. I am an idiot, but I'm working on it. Right here. Now that should put player on a layer above the background. And the background is ordered properly because I put the sorting layer on it. Good lord, that took way too long for me to figure out that. Shoot, sorry, hang on. Okay, now little player. Take this off. Play. Now he looks how I want him to look. Look at his little fucking cute face, you son of a bitch. Okay. Now I need to figure out what I'm gonna do about the animations. Let's move his head up a little bit. That. I really hate that this bone is here. I think he's cute. He's a cutie pie. with little short legs. Okay. I like it. Let's zoom in. Get a good look at him. How do I turn these bones off? There you go. Look at my guy. He's got really short legs. Okay. Screw it. That's fine. I'm okay with this. Now what we've got is a little guy. He's all boned up. I'm trying to think. Kind of over the idea of trying to get this to work properly. I kind of just want to get into the animation, so I'll drop this here. Background scenes. Background. Okay, let's go ahead and get into it animating. I don't know, I think I put it here. Animator. And then we've made an hang on. Controller, so we have to make an animator controller. So we'll make a animation controller player, and then we'll make an animation, create an animation, and we'll call it idle player idle, and then we'll open this up. Okay. Now we come back to the player prefab, and we're gonna go down here. We're gonna drop in the player controller, and then we're gonna drop in the player idle. Did I spell that right? Idle. Idle. Shoot. Rename this. Turn the music back on. Player idle. Okay. Double click this. Or double click this. Now this is where, like, why does the sprite do this all of a sudden where it like looks like junk? I need to go back to the video to see how he does the animations.
A PNG file or a PSB file. So this has to be for both of them. We're going to go down to Add Components, search for IK Manager 2D, Animation tab with the player selected. By the way, that is important. You want to say Create, and then you want to create a new animation asset. Now I'm going to go back inside my main directory, and I'm going to create a new folder.
With the player selected is important. Good point. Good point. Create. Okay, how did he do that?
And I'm going to call this, so I'm going to go and click player, and I want to make sure we have the animation window open, so I'm going to go to window, animation, have it drag down here. I'm also going to open up the animator and drag it down to the bottom here. And inside the animation tab with the player selected, by the way, that is important, you want to say create, and then you want to create a new animation asset. Now I'm going...
Got it. Okay, so animator, let's open up the animator, animation, and animator. So I've got the animator and the animation. Click the player, create an animation. We're gonna go here. That's fine. Player idle. Spell it wrong again. Save. Add a property. Let's say head. Okay.
I'm going to go back inside my main directory, and I'm going to create a new folder. And I'm going to call this one Animations. In here, I do also want to make sure that we have a good hierarchy, so I want to create a folder called player, because this is going to contain all the play animations. And then I just want to rename my animation to player.
I'll fix it.
And then the animation that I want to create. Now, as a default, usually start out with a idle animation. So what I want to do is I want to say _idle. Again, you can name it whatever you want to, but it is just sort of a naming convention to say the name of the object, underscore, and then the animation that you want to create. So idle is him just standing still. It's not really doing anything, so we're going to save. And in here, we can now start animating. So what I'll do is I'll take my project window, just put it over to the side here, because it is kind of a neat thing to have. Now, if you were to do frame-by-frame animation, you usually would just go ahead and open up your sprite with all the different frames and just drag them all inside the timeline and then play it, and then you had like an entire animation playing. So you would, pre-make all the different frames inside an editing software like Photoshop or After Effects. But since we're animating directly inside Unity, and we need to do it in a slightly different way. Now, inside the animation tab, there's a couple of different ways we can do it. We could go ahead and say we want to add properties, and then add whatever property we want to add. So if I want to get the positioning, transform property of my body, then go down to the base, which is my hip. As you can see, we can actually see everything inside the play object, inside the properties down here. So if I wanted to, I could go and say I wanted to add the entire transform of the body, which is the hip base, and just go ahead and add it in here, right click, add, and then we can actually adjust the settings inside what we have here. But I don't want to do it that way. Let's go and do this in a much simpler way, which is simply just to click the bone and then start moving it around, because that seems simpler in my mind. So what I'll do is I'll click the record button, and then what you can do is you can move it out to, let's say, 30 seconds, and then you can just go ahead and take the body, move it down slightly, and then go over to maybe 1 minute, copy the keyframes, and paste them in. If I were to play this using my space key, is that we actually have an animation going. And it's just basic.
So easy. Okay. Okay. Bone. Transform. Delete it. Delete it. Delete it. Bone 1. Add property. Bone 1. Wait, what is he looking at? Is this? It's very interesting. They have all got parent and child relationships. This is the game. I need to put the scene up here. There we go. In game, he looks a lot different. That's okay. Okay, I'm gonna have to rewatch that video. I've gotten further, but I'm kind of stuck here.
Basically recording the keyframes that we're adding in because we hit the record button, but maybe I want the eyes to bounce as well. So what I can do is I can go forward to around 40 seconds, or 40 frames it's actually called, and I can actually take the eye, just move it down slightly, so it actually bounces down when we, move, so something like this. Of my body, then I can go down to the base, which is my hip. As you can see, we can actually see everything inside the play object, inside the properties down here. So if I wanted to, I could go and say I wanted to add the entire transform of the body, which is the hip base, and just go ahead and add it in here, right click, add, and then we can actually adjust the settings inside what we have here.
Yeah, see, his thing is doing, so like this is my base, this is my hip, this is my transform, right click, add property. Oh, I'm just stupid. No, it didn't add any of the other things. But I can record and go here and just do this. Come back here, do this, and then I can come back here, select this stuff, copy it, paste it here, and I can play it. Okay, yeah, I mean, this is pretty straightforward, not so bad. It's just I need to figure out how to get all the bones in here. I mean, he's just gonna do that. Crap. Look at him go. My little boy. He's going. He's going! That's animation. Okay. God, that took forever. Christ, man. Okay, so in summary, today we have figured out how to do basic animation through Unity, how to rig up a sprite using the PSD importer. Goodness, that took a long time. That took 2 hours? That took 2 hours. Okay, anyways, so what we're gonna do from here, there's some new stuff that I want to start introducing to the channel. I want to introduce, like, I called this stream the office hours, and I labeled it with indie game development. I want to start doing like regular like my streams will be office hours where you can come, you can ask questions, you can hang out and watch me do my development. But also I'm starting to, oh my gosh, how do I explain this? I'm studying to do coding interviews, and I honestly just feel super behind in my skills. So I'm gonna do another 2-hour stream for office hours, but instead of indie game development office hours, it's gonna be coding review office hours, or like coding studying, computer science related. It's just gonna be like a dedicated time for when I'm studying. So this upcoming 2 hours, like, it's gonna happen like almost immediately. I'm gonna go take a break and like just decompress for a second. It's going to be on Java and object-oriented programming. Ultimately, the goal is to start making short-form videos for tutorials in coding, and also explaining like important concepts, and then just building my skills, kind of how I do with game development. I'm sitting here learning. I just want to also provide a space where I'm learning my coding stuff, but also people can come and learn as well. And then also, so there'll be office hours, and then eventually I'm hoping that there'll be like short videos explaining the topics that we learned during office hours. Okay, that's it. All right, anyways, thanks for hanging out, guys. I will see you in the next one very shortly. Goodbye.